Hello, and welcome to another week of the Abuse Cartoons live stream. So very late getting started on this one, but yeah, lots of things happening. So the first thing that happened to me was over the weekend I broke a glass and cut my hand pretty badly. So it's all glued together right now. So we'll see if that affects my drawing ability or drawing style. So that should be fun. And yeah, other than that, just a lot of rain and cold, not quite spring weather. But everything is kind of getting ready for spring. I guess it's coming a little early this year. So we'll have, so around the 21st, things are going to start opening and looking very spring-like because it was a very mild winter. So, yeah, so I haven't had any amazing ideas, but maybe something like this will work. Yeah, I guess it's not hurting anymore, so I guess it's not gonna affect me too much. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. But yeah, I was thinking about puddles. Yeah, because spring, and it's funny, especially the kind of dirty rivers in the city look very funny in springtime because they get this you know, pretty pink spring confetti flowing through them, or you know, covering them. So this disgusting brownish greenish water and all of these little flower petals on the top. So it looks like the aftermath of some ridiculous parade or something. How's the, yeah, I think the levels are okay. Sorry, I haven't been checking that, but yeah, I guess it'll be okay. I was having some did some other game streaming and was just going to go using the webcam for both the game sound and my voice, and that sounds really bad. That's really tinny and unlistenable, so I should have gotten out this microphone and put the sound, you know, through the computer. But I just wanted to try and see if that would work as a kind of a quick workaround, and it absolutely does not. It sounds terrible, but it was just a test, so no harm done. Okay, I think I am literally just going to go with puddles for this one. And, you know, kind of talking about the idea that I was saying before about how spring makes the dirty water so festive. Yeah, kind of squish them down a little bit. Okay, yeah, I think I'm going to actually go with that for one of these cartoons, which will be tomorrow's. But we'll get back to that. All right. Ooh, sorry. Now let's actually come up with something else here. So, yeah, so it's beginning. It's a nice season if you don't have an allergic reaction. It's a nice season here because it starts to get warm. March is a little bit rough because it really fluctuates wildly between winter and spring weather, so a lot of people get sick during that time. And it's impossible to figure out what to leave the house in. You have to kind of bring everything and just carry it when it gets too hot, or, you know, put more and more on as it gets colder. And it seems like every time it rains, the temperature just shifts, you know, like 10, 15 degrees Celsius. So that's hard to account for. But, all right. Yeah, so spring will feature prominently in the convenience store segment today, but I don't, yeah, there was really nothing really jumped out, and nothing really kind of caught my eye as far as what would be interesting to talk about, but everything is kind of converting to spring. So I can show examples of that. Oh, I should have grabbed one of the beer makers. The breweries used to love to use seasonal packaging, seasonal cans and things. So that's always a thing here too. All right. Just draw some paper cartons. Yeah, they call these usually in katakana, are usually how most Japanese refer to cartons, paper cartons, is packs. So I'm not sure, there must be some pack explanation somewhere. And I think they call actually the recyclable nature of these, I think they call them some kind of eco pack or something. But yeah, it's always funny. So a pack of milk. A pack is cigarettes, cheese. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of things that come in packages. And cans, of course, like 12-pack, 6-pack. But yeah, that's funny. Milk pack, 1 pack of milk. So yeah, so I was washing dishes and put my hand too far into a very breakable glass and yeah, sliced it open pretty well because the glass shattered and I was turning my hand in the shattered glass as it broke, so it kind of broke all around me, and then I just caught the edge of the caught the little jagged edge, and it was so sharp that I didn't even feel it at first. I'm just like, oh no, I broke the glass, and like, oh no, my hand. So it's a funny little kind of scallop shaped cut, so it just kind of, yeah, hacked in, but luckily it wasn't too deep and not too close to the knuckle, and on the outside, so not the more sensitive, yeah, inside. So less painful and maybe less possible nerve damage and things. But that was fun. All right, let's see if I need to. Yeah, these are all kind of wonky looking. So I'm trying to listen to podcasts and everybody's talking Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel? Captain Marvel. Whoops. Captain Marvel, the movie. And that's very funny. I'm trying to get on the right layer here. It's very funny. My favorite theory is that all of this, Rotten Tomatoes and fake hate and stuff, the review bombing or whatever they're calling it, is all an inside job, and kind of a new kind of marketing style that these companies, when they know they've got a really mediocre movie that may actually underperform, well, then just generate some fake controversy, and that'll get people seeing, probably a certain amount of people at least talking about it, and then that may trigger people to actually see it that may have not seen it or may have not made it much of a priority. But when it becomes a political thing, ugh. And I just saw that again. I just saw somebody insulting political moderates as dangerous people. What a world. I love that politics, especially online, are divided between Tumblr left and alt-right. I think very few people in the world actually fall into either of those camps. But those are the monsters. Those are the boogeyman for each side. No politics. Anyhow, milk cartons. Look at this. Yeah, that's one of the funny things here too, is you've got paper cartons, and sometimes they'll have things like corn soup or things like that in them. So not always dairy. What am I doing? Yeah, it's strange, but it works. All right. Well, let's do a Oh, I don't know if I can even do this. We'll find out. They still have tiny milk bottles here in Japan. The kids' lunches. Oh yeah, very quickly comes out. Kids' lunches are often accompanied by little tiny milk bottles, which are actually good. Milk out of glass is so much nicer. If you're a milk drinker, milk out of glass is so nice compared to stinky, soggy paper cartons and things. Definitely the better way to enjoy that. Just a lot more to deal with. I can't remember what milk bottles look like. So sad. Definitely, a little bit more cumbersome because you got to wash them and return them or handle them. Yeah, there's. Oh yeah, actually, and then like boom. I remember, yeah, not a completely round milk bottle, but a milk bottle with actually sides, more like that. So we can change this a little bit. Yeah, something like that might work. At least it'll come across as a milk bottle. Wow. Okay, well, I think we have a couple of... I guess I've been procrastinating and getting ready to get online. I've been thinking about things, so that's why this came out quicker than usual. But let's see here. Yeah, maybe the top is a little much. Yeah, the lip doesn't quite need to be so dramatic on either side. Okay, that helps. All right, milk bottle. Yeah, because I'm confusing it with the. I remember in the 70s they made like a cheap wine that had a bottle that kind of had a big, wide mouth and maybe like a metal cap on the top of it or foil or something. But I remember those, and remember we kept those and like used those for like ice water and stuff instead of pitchers. Yeah. But that's what I'm getting confused with, the actual shape of it. It's distorting. Oh. Actually, I think I want to make this giant one a 2-pack. Oh, sorry. Okay, wait a minute here. The microphone is in a position where it's kind of got me pinned in here. I can't raise my arm high enough. Okay, well, hopefully that's still close enough. I'm going to be bumping it a lot, though. I apologize for that. But I want to... I remember this being a thing, too. Two milks together instead of 2 half-gallons together instead of a big plastic gallon, but I don't know how long that lasted. So I think it would... Oh, no. I think it would have like a handle. And that's the case. Because it does make it a little more unwieldy. I do not like that. Okay. Oh. Yeah, I've got some weird... I'm not sure what triggered this. I've got a new mouse. And I'm not sure if the driver for that or whatever triggered it, but I'm getting this weird thing when I'm trying to move windows between monitors. They catch now, and if they won't move over, and if I let it go, then it like divides the monitor like evenly. That might be a new Windows update treat, but it just like puts all the applications in like a grid on your one monitor. But if the corner of it is the corner of it makes it over, you just can't drag it completely. So you let it go, and hopefully it doesn't do that grid thing, and then you can pull it over. But that's like one extra click. So I'm not sure why it decided it needed to do that from now on. Oh yeah, I think this will work. But that's a new bug, not a feature. Ugh. Yeah, I'm getting really tired of not being able to have things as you left them. And I guess, you know, that's the nature of computers, because people are constantly knocking on the doors to try to, you know, get into your system. So there has to be security updates and kind of cat and mouse stuff going on. But why are they messing with other things that they're not improving? They're just changing in odd, random ways. Yeah, I just don't like that unpredictable thing. I would like things to work how I left them the previous day. All right. Yeah, I think both of these should work. So I'm going to come up with a color. Right? Am I? Wow, things are moving a little slow. Okay, a color. And yeah, this camera keeps doing this. I should check the settings. Boom. It doesn't like the backlighting at all. So it's acting very strange. I guess if too much of it is seeing that white. Yeah, there we go. Then it'll darken. I get backlit very strangely. Struggling with that before. Okay. And I promised myself and didn't do anything about it to keep my eye on the chat, because I think I've only got Twitch chat coming up. Wow, everything is moving very slowly. So I'm thinking, okay. Am I live here still? Yeah, looks like it. Something along those lines. Yeah, I guess that's dirty and kind of gross enough. That's kind of what I was thinking. And then instead of doing I'll try to do my own little highlight here. Hope my keyboard isn't too loud now. I've got it set up a little differently. All right. Yeah, something like that. Let's see what happens with the kind of shadowy. Oh yeah, the highlight. Yeah, highlight still works okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, something like that. Just trying to give it a little depth without making it look too crazy. Okay, and then the other idea is to do the pink petals. Actually, I think I want them to be very, very bright. See how this, hello. See how this works. Okay, there we go. Is that the shape I want? Boom, 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 something like that. So, yeah, this is definitely more abstracted kind of look, but it'll work. I think someone's moving outside today. It's really loud and there's weird furniture all over the sidewalk. That's always fun. Yeah, I think I've done, this idea feels really familiar, so maybe I have done this kind of idea before, but always spring in Japan. Makes me think of this. And then just lighten this. These guys here. Now I think maybe, well, try just the white and see how that goes. Yeah, that might work. It's like they all fell at the exact same second. All right. Yeah, that looks like it's going to do it. Surprisingly, the first attempt worked. Am I even on camera? Okay. That's the weird thing about doing creative stuff on stream, is you get so focused on what you're doing, you're not even talking or streaming or even have your head on camera anymore. It's heavy. Okay. All right. Happy puddles. Oh, that's a weird skip. Okay, wrong layer. Oh, that one got a little smeared. And I wanted to, I think this, this layer, yeah, I wanted to bring this down a little bit. All right. Yeah, I think that works. All right. Well, I'm not going to argue about that going smoothly. Let's try the next one here. Oh yeah, like I was trying to do before my mouse seemed to lock up. It is impossible to know what's causing the trouble anymore. But I would suspect that it is, whoops. I would suspect that it is Chrome. It's always Chrome. Okay. Whoops, sorry if you're in the chat and I missed you. Sorry about that. I'm what? Running slowly, running very slowly. I hope the sound didn't change too much when I moved the microphone. I just couldn't keep it in the right position and still be able to draw. All right. So let's try to do a slightly off-white milk color. I don't think I want to do this. Oops, not that layer. Yeah, that works. And maybe the rest of these guys, and then I think I will do a little buttermilk Something like that. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, I'll do it on a separate layer, I guess, just in case. All right, so here's our blue topped milk. Guess we'll do like this. Oops. Oh, kind of like that. One of those 60s designs. All right. Okay, so just putting stripes on milk cartons. There we go. Okay, and maybe some writing, kind of like this blue, but maybe a little darker. Some writing on the milk carton. There we go. And just lighten that up. Cool. That works. I don't know why I just drew a bunch of milk cartons. That's funny. This one too. Okay. Put those back. Yeah, that works. All right. Yeah, that's the only one that's going to work on. Here. Yeah. Oh, maybe I need something on this handle. And possibly... something like that. glass-like. There we go. Oh, yeah, moving between. Yeah, strange. Moving between monitors is no good now. I want to know what happened. Ugh. All right. Well, I haven't missed any chat. Seems like I'm always missing chat, so that's good for once. I just need to pop it up on the screen, although I don't even watch myself very much. I guess that's what I need is monitors on top of each other, or, more than closer than a head turn away. But that's not going to happen anytime soon. Okay, so we got to make these guys twins, right? Yes. There we go. I don't know if I want to do that silly look. Better write this down while I'm thinking of it. I have to look up enwrapped in his stories. Dairy products in purple bottles. Okay. I'll look at that later and fix all my misspellings. You have to check that. Okay, so we've got pretty puddles and we've got lots of dairy products. All right, so I guess it's that time. So yeah, nothing too amazing, just kind of seasonal stuff. But let's switch over to the convenience store. Where am I? I don't have my mouse. There we go. Okay. All right. I need to get the chime in frame so I can actually see when the shop sound stops playing. All right, so it is now March, so spring is almost here in Japan. And how can you tell? Because convenience stores look like this. Boom! Everything, beer and chips, potato chips and snacks and cakes and everything gets the sakura treatment, so the cherry blossom treatment. Just everything is now decorated in cherry blossoms, and there's a lot of cherry blossom flavor, sakura flavor, which basically is... It's usually strawberry milk or strawberry cream flavored, like the sakura milk tea. Oh, they don't admit what it is, but I've had some things that taste, they're Japanese cherry, but the actual trees, the most popular type of cherry blossom tree in Japan, is not doesn't have edible. I guess they're edible as in they won't kill you, but they're not. They don't taste good. The cherry is a little kind of fruit, meat covered, flesh covered seeds that fall from these trees. There's nothing very tasty about them, and they're not very large. So it's the beautiful flowers and the edible cherries are not. They don't share the same trees usually. But yeah, so as you can see, everything. So, and it was this just struck me as funny because these are American brands. So Starbucks has a big line. I can't remember it being so huge, but in America, but it's really huge in Japan as far as the convenience store iced coffees. There are so many different flavors, and they seasonally change, just like at the shop. So this is their sakura cherry blossom flavor, and they just give up and they just say it's strawberry. Oh, strawberry jelly, yeah. So it's yeah. So sakura chocolate with strawberry jelly. Okay, well we'll try this then. I didn't read that before. I just saw the big sakura on the front. So yeah, strawberry sakura chocolate and strawberry jelly. So we'll see how this goes. So it's this kind of thing. I'm not sure if it's the same kind of, but this is easy to walk and not spill all over yourself. And so you're just basically punching through a foil cap on here. And so they make a lot of things like this, drinkable yogurt and the tapioca boba teas, I think they're called. I don't think that's the Japanese name, but yeah, so let's give this a shot and see if it tastes like spring in Japan. Oh, there's a lot of jelly on there. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's good. So what is that? Yeah, that sakura flavor is, it's not strawberry. It's like it is a floral, really light fruity flavor. So maybe it is the, more the Japanese cherry, because the Japanese cherry is yellow and light reddish and very mild in flavor compared to like the dark cherry, like the black cherry or the darker American cherries if you buy cherries at the store. So it's, you know, more this type of color, like a yellow and a red kind of blending, or not this color, but blending between together, and very mild, nice sweetness, not very heavy. And so yeah, sakura flavor. So there is like a sakura chocolate flavor in here, and yeah, it's nice. It's almost fruity or floral compared to fruity, and then there's strawberry jelly. So wow, yeah, it's very sweet. A lot of stuff in it. So it's just milk. It's not actually coffee of any kind, which is very common, the strawberry milk. Like I was saying, that a lot of times sakura flavor is just strawberry milk. And I won't open this, but this is you can have some idea of what that must taste like. A sweet, light milk tea. Yeah, so very funny. Even the American brands, to kind of, you know, get sales in Japan, they have to do the seasonal thing, and so they shift towards whatever the seasonal taste is, and now everything is cherry blossoms, and every store is decorated in them, and yeah, every packaging, you know, even if it's not the flavor of spring, if it's not a special spring flavor, suddenly has flower petals all over it. So yeah, and that's it's very sad though, because I heard not too long ago that a lot of the favorite species, whatever, however you say that about trees, favorite species of cherry tree in Japan is succumbing to some sort of illness or rot or insect or something, and so they're dying pretty badly. So they've started to plant a hybrid tree that resists whatever that is that the original breed is weak to, and but they look different, and they're not. Yeah, they don't quite have the same feeling. And if you've ever seen a massive amount of cherry blossoms in springtime, it's just surreal. It's just amazing. And especially even at night in Japan, by moonlight, the cherry blossoms still glow and look amazing. So it's it's a very crazy, kind of surreal feeling. And so for just a very short time, it's just everything it looks like it's snowing. You know, it's warm and looks like snow is fluttering everywhere. It's really, really surreal. And so maybe there's some places, you know, outside of Japan that have that. But it was sad. I was reading that a lot of the places in Asia that have the Japanese species of cherry blossom, it's because of Japanese occupation that they're there. So they're kind of this reminder that, you know, Japanese people were occupiers at one point. So I think both in Korea and China, they do have that Japanese cherry blossom, but it's more of a symbol of when there was Japanese occupation. So not so beautiful, but yeah, so it's everything, and people really love the seasonal thing, and specifically cherry blossoms are that sad temporary feeling, like the shortness of life, the beautiful, the beauty of the brief and, wonderful things, and how I forget that there's a good English phrase that kind of sums that up a little bit better. But just the beauty and sadness of something that is so nice and so wonderful and so short-lived. So it's a very kind of Japanese aesthetic. And you see that a lot, but I don't think anything represents that as well as the cherry blossoms do. But so that is that is what you're. And it's weird because it in another context would almost be ridiculous and cheesy. Like you would see this and be like, oh, come on. Or it's a very fake, like they're pandering towards women or old people or something with this kind of design. But it's such a cultural thing that it never quite gets there, even though you see so many, so much, dishes and fabrics and things with a spring cherry blossom, the sakura theme. It never gets to that point of being, you think it would, because it's so over the top and it's so like ever present during the season, but it doesn't ever look cheesy. Like sometimes, like an American eagle, or like a bald eagle and the American flag, kind of sometimes that feels very over the top or very just too much. It seems in bad taste, and you would think that little pink flower petals everywhere would get there. And I guess like in some context, like some video game context or something, maybe it does get to be a little bit too much. But I just noticed, like, in being in Japan and seeing things decorated that way, and a lot of that design coming up and packaging, it's just seasonal packaging. It's just like it's nothing that it doesn't ever go too far, and maybe just because it's in context. So maybe outside of Japan that might seem a little much. But I've never felt that like, ugh, can we stop it with the spring thing? It's very different from like Christmas or whatever, what it represents and kind of what it. Oh, and I guess I should talk a little bit more about what it represents. So the funny thing is, because spring is that time of renewal in Japan, so March to April is basically what the equivalent of a summer break in America. So you would take your summer vacation is the big break between grades, and so you change school years between summer vacation. Here it's spring, and they still have summer vacation, and they have a week-long vacation in the next month in May. So it's a very confusing schedule, but I guess they want that link, that natural seasonal link to the renewal. So you start your university, you start your new company, you start the new school year in the spring. So most graduation pictures and starting your new job, whatever, is under the cherry trees. Like you're wearing your first business suit to work at your first job, you're wearing your graduation uniform, your graduation ceremony. It's all based in kind of springtime, because that's the time of change and renewal. So they really, even as no matter how inconvenient it becomes, they really use that as they want to take advantage of that representation. And because it is so beautiful at that time and has a kind of a magical feeling, I guess that suits change in your life well. And it makes all the pictures so beautiful too, because everyone's in front of these gorgeous flower trees. But so that's a funny thing here, because it makes school schedules and things very awkward, because of course the summer vacation is longer and spring vacation is a week, maybe two for the younger students. And then you're in another school year already. So, and for teachers especially, that's pretty hectic, because they have a system where public school teachers move around a lot within the school district. So you can stay like a maximum of 3 years at a school. This is public schools. And then they're kind of just shuffled around. And I guess so that your life isn't ruined completely by a bad teacher, or your life isn't made wonderful completely by a good teacher. I don't know. But it just kind of stirs it all around into this, mediocre level of nothing. So you have a lot of good and bad teachers all mixed together, and if they did something terrible to you, they're harder to track down, I guess. They hide them. But there's a lot of change and that, so your coworkers, if you're working at a public school, your coworkers are completely different in the spring. Yeah, so it's an odd feeling and an odd system, and they must have it serving something, and it must, I don't know, and maybe it breaks rules or breaks something where you don't have families paying off teachers for grades, or who knows. Who knows where that thinking came from. But that is the system here. And so that can make, and that's so, and like I was saying, that's when you start your new job. So the new hires at a company will show up in this season. So April, your new employees will come. So it's kind of the training time. You have to deal with new employees that don't know anything and kind of get them up to speed. And so that's a funny thing. And kind of uniquely, I don't know. I mean, as far as I know, it's Japanese, but it may be an Asian thing, or I don't know. But just from my experience here, it's very focused on that season, and that time of renewal of spring is the time of change. So, yeah, it's pretty beautiful, but also pretty awkward schedule-wise, and especially like getting married in springtime and stuff here is difficult, because it's, the weather's very unpredictable. The when the cherry blossoms are going to be at full bloom is very unpredictable, so it's not easy. So yeah, so try to, if you want to see that come the last week of March, and you may just have missed it, or it may just be starting, but you'll get some version of spring if you come last week of March, first week of April to Japan to see cherry blossoms. And different regions have it at different times, so you can probably always find something somewhere in Japan at its peak if you come during that season. Some places you may have missed, and some places haven't started yet, depending on how cold the winter was. But anyhow, that was, I just bumped my hand. Sorry, ouch. It's never ending. Okay, this heals soon. Yes, so that is spring in Japan, complete with all of their Sakura products. And I'm sure the donuts will be turning spring donuts very shortly, the Mr. Donut and their spring donuts. But so even the American brands follow that Japanese style to sell more. Ow. Oh, that really hurt. Okay, enough of this, especially up close, me wincing up close. There we go. Now we can wince at you from a distance. Ow. Okay. So, I wanted to double check a spelling and meaning before I finish writing this. Enwrapped. I seem to remember. Oh, it's a company. Yeah, wholly absorbed. Yeah, that word just kind of stuck in my head. Oh, come on. Sorry, even when I'm not in that bigger window, I still can have access to everything I bought at the convenience store. Wow. Okay. Okay. Well, let's see. Maybe I'll change stories to tales. And wrapped in his... And maybe not start the sentence. They sat and wrapped in his tales of dairy products in breakable bottles. Breakable's not very funny. Fragile glass bottles. And wrapped in and wrapped by. Oh, these are the worst websites ever. All right. Yeah, so adjective. Sorry. Yeah, not enough. I don't feel. Yeah, they sat and wrapped in his tales of dairy products and fragile life. Okay, I think I will make this 2 lines though, if I ever get my cursor back. Okay. Yeah. Okay, now I can play with it a little bit more too. Yeah, I think that's as close. There's nothing to tweak about that. Wow. These, a lot of terrible websites. All right. Well, I'm going to go with that, and I'm sure I'll be corrected by some lovely person. Okay. And let's get on to the gorgeous puddles. Oh, sorry. Whoa. Sorry about that. Yeah, everything's a little bit out of whack today. Even the filthiest puddles felt a little prettier in springtime. Yay. Yay. All right. So I think that's going to work. And I'm going to not spell it filthiest. Filth. I cannot even spell it. Okay. Even the filthiest puddle felt a little prettier in the springtime. Oh, I have to double check if I have to capitalize spring time. Oh, I almost hit my hand again. God, this is crazy. Okay, well, better short and sweet than watching me in pain again. I guess that went pretty well. I was expecting it to hurt a lot more, and I'm going to try not to bleed through this bandage on camera. All right. Well, thank you for joining me, and welcome to Almost Spring. Give us another week and a half, and it should be beautiful spring, and I'll try to open the windows and open the curtains and see if we can catch some of that. Although there's no trees. They have cut down all the trees on this street. Wow. Yeah, so there'll be nothing to look at. Maybe a truck will be decorated with it. But yeah, if I can get any funny video or photos of how spring it gets, then I'll try to include those next week or the week after, depending on when it happens the most. Thank you for joining me, and I will be around next week, hopefully in better physical condition and a little bit more on time. I know the timing of this must be insane for the North American viewers, but this will be archived on YouTube and also Twitch, so feel free to look for it there, as well as a whole year of this nonsense. So 50-some sessions of drawing and talking and shopping at convenience stores, and a little bit of Japanese stuff in there, a little bit of talking about creativity and creative life and motivation, stuff like that. And I will see you next week. If you would like to follow this cartoon, please follow on Twitter at abusecartoons. The website is abusecartoons.com. And if you would like to support this cartoon and see it happen more often and in more wonderful ways and in more books and things, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/abusecartoons. Just $1 makes a huge difference as far as making more of this happen, and in better and more wonderful ways. So, and thank you for everyone that is a patron already. I really appreciate your support, and it makes a huge difference in keeping me motivated, not necessarily on time, but motivated every week to bring you this live stream, and also to keep doing the cartoons. So until next week, I will be back with you and talk at you again. Goodbye.